Hello everyone, this is VocaLThundA, and I'm here to bring to you an advanced Jayce commentary, advanced Jungle Jayce commentary, and yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely has been a long time since I've done a commentary before, since Diablo was released. I've been pretty busy playing that until I got bored of it, which was like a month after the release. And then I decided to come back to the League of Legends after they released Jayce, this guy here, one of the newest champions of the league, and because he is extremely unique. He is one of the very few viable range junglers available at the moment, and he offers a lot of utility to the team, having his acceleration gate and being able to switch from ranged to melee and having a knockback. So I've been playing around with him a lot, and I'm going to commentate this 1500 elo game that I was just playing to kind of demonstrate what I do with him in the jungle and my mindset in the jungle. As you can see, I'm watching everything in spectator mode, which is kind of cool. I've actually never done this before because I wasn't a huge fan of the LoL replay bugs, but ever since they implemented this feature, it's been pretty neat. So here, just right off the bat, I'm showing this is one of the differences between my jungling and this enemy Malphite's jungling. I'm just gonna call him Dong. He started with blue, but I started with the wolves, so I'm gonna have a little bit of an advantage over him in terms of level already. But the key thing I want you guys to notice here is that I actually saved Smite. I did not use Smite, whereas he did. The reason for this, and I told my team to give me a pretty good leash, the reason for this is because I want to steal red, right here. Malphite didn't do his wolves, so he's doing them now, but this is going to turn out to be a huge mistake on his part, because I get to steal red basically for free, and there's nothing he can do about it. Also, I don't know if you saw me do this, but I took Q as my second ability, and I shot the lizard buff over the wall. The reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to pull it into this bush here, and it allows me to kill it without being detected. Now, since Malphite did not have his red buff, and I was able to steal it, I actually am able to hit level 3 before the bottom lane's even able to hit level 2. It allows me to gank, make a very powerful gank on bottom lane, as you can see. We weren't able to kill Soraka because she had pretty good positioning and she managed to flash away. But in either case, it was still a good gank because it prevents them from dying here. Another reason why I wanted to steal red buff was because this right here, when Malphite is ganking, he doesn't have red buffs, so he's less likely to kill the bottom lane when he ganks. And that is one tactic that I've been wanting to demonstrate for a long time, but I've been testing it. I've been putting it through a lot of testing before I actually came out with it. It's because when you counter jungle your opponent like that, they are forced to do one of two things. They can either continue jungling at a disadvantage because they've lost their red buff and therefore they've lost levels and the ganking ability, or they can try and gank a lane and be less successful at doing it. Vladimir makes a very narrow escape here, using flash. But yeah, that's one of the things I want to show. See, he's still only level 3, whereas I'm level 4. Now, bottom lane makes a pretty bad play here and forgets to back off and dies as a result. But it still brings my point across that Malphite had to gank twice in order for him to properly get a kill. And as you can see, I'm going in to counter jungle him a little bit more because I saw that he was just bot, and he must be. I figured that he would be sort of weak right now since he didn't have red buff, so I decided to fight him here. I have red buff, so I should win the fight, but I realized too late that I wouldn't be able to take on both bottom lane and jungler. So I decided to stay and fight. I managed to kill him here, but I die feeding red buff to the enemy Graves. Vladimir is smart and comes to pick up the 2 weakened bottom lanes as a result. So it kind of worked out. Alright. So Olaf is winning his lane against Lee Sin because he's Olaf, and that's a good thing. So, and that's one of the reasons why I don't actually visit the top lane very often during the early game. I figure that if I'm able to properly keep Malphite down, I won't have to worry about top lane getting ganked because he's gonna have a level advantage over the anyway. And then he could do stuff like this to finish him on 1v2. So Malphite manages to get away with the skin of his teeth. But at the same time, I mean, Olaf manages to get away, but at the same time, Malphite's wasting time by being up here because he's already failed his gank. He's kind of just hanging around Lee Sin and stealing experience. Not a good way to go. So I take blue quickly here. Luckily, Vlad doesn't need it because he's a resourceless jungler. And I proceed to take their red again. Oh, after I gank Morgana. First I need to gank Morgana to get her off good lane. Seeing that Vladimir is a little bit overzealous, Morgana manages to pick up the kill, and it's kind of unfortunate. It's a bad play by our Vladimir. I guess it can't be helped. It is Morgana. But yeah. As a result from all the ganks, I was able to buy a Razor very early, and this will allow me to steal buff and from Malphite even faster. And that's one of the good things about having Wriggles is that it makes counter jungling very easy and very quick. So here I realized that bottom lane's overextended again, and I take the opportunity to gank them again. I think Graves just gets away here barely because he's Graves. Yeah, I see that Malphite's there and we decide to break off the chase. Now it probably would have been a good idea to do Dragon here, but Malphite was in the area, and so I told my team to back off because bottom lane was pretty low, and I don't want him to just come in and smite the dragon to steal it, and to waste our efforts. I'm a pretty conservative jungler. I want to be sure I ward dragon before I actually attempt it with a pink ward, because I want to have that sort of control if I'm going to do dragon. So here I am farming some more. Top lane's doing pretty good. Olaf's the whole level ahead of Lee Sin. And it seems like Malphite's coming up for another gank. Malphite is pretty strong for ganking. At level 6, but as you can see, Olaf and Lee Sin are level 8. And Malphite needs to be... Malphite's only level 6. And the more time he spends up here trying to gank Olaf, who has his ultimate, the more time he wastes. So I noticed that he's up there, and I believe I take the time to harass Morgana a little bit and steal more of his jungle. I probably didn't really need to harass Morgana, seeing that I would give my position away. But yeah, I think we're getting ready to make a play on Morgana. I stay in range from here in order to poke at her a little bit. It's unfortunate that they have that disconnecting Soraka. I see Malphite here, and then decide to engage him because he's a whole level behind me, and I'm level 7, and I've got red buff. Malphite makes a huge mistake here and misses his ult on Vladimir, otherwise he would have gotten a kill. And Vladimir gets away with just the skin of his teeth. So as you can see, we're pulling away. Malphite's still level 6. Most of us on our team are level 8 and above, aside from maybe Tarek. And so all that counter juggling I've been doing to him in the early game is now starting to snowball. And this is what this is also a point I want to get across about jungler. If you are able to effectively deny the enemy of their jungle, you can snowball in the jungle, sometimes even harder than top lane. And that's something really important to know if you want to try and carry yourself out of solo queue, because being able to snowball is the way to win in solo queue. And if you can do that from the jungle, it's really good for your team, because it cripples the enemy's ganking potential, and at the same time it makes yourself able to carry the game. So I believe I have a pink ward. Yeah, I have a pink ward here, and so I'm gonna place it and quickly kill their little vision ward there. And now we're planning to do dragon. They don't have any vision. If they do come in, they have to blow a lot of summoners to do it. Now, this fight here ends up to be sort of like a Mexican standoff, and we're all just trying to poke at each other. But the one fatal mistake that we make is that we fail to properly estimate the power of their teamfight comp, and we lose Tarek as a result. Here I continue to poke at them. Vladimir gets caught. And as a result, we lose Dragon as well. I get away with the skin of my teeth. Like 13 HP. Really, really close. But yeah, this game was really good to show because the enemy team has, even though like counter jungle isn't really hard, they have a very powerful teamfight comp, and it is possible for them to win the game purely based off team fights. So here, like right now, you guys don't see the chat since it's spectator mode, but I am strategizing with my team and letting them know that if we are to win this game, we'll have to get engaged because their team fight ability is far greater than ours, seeing that they have Malphite and Morgana and Soraka. We have to be very, very careful on ours. So they've taken Dragon. They're up about 7 or maybe 800 gold, which isn't a huge lead because we were able to pull ahead quite a bit early on. So that gold lead isn't very big, and with one good team fight that will just swing things right around. So there isn't much happening right now. Here I try and counter jungle a little more, but Morgana notices me. And here, this little trick here, I wanted to show this for a long time, but I was never able to do it until now. But Jayce's W in his range form attacks so fast that you can kill wards right as they're being placed. So right there, what happened was Morgana placed her vision ward by their wraiths, but I was in the area in range form, and I had my W up, so I shot it with my W on, and I managed to kill it for itself. No, Vladimir flashes needlessly there, but he was able to kill Morgana even though he was about to die, so that was a win in favor. Malphite trying to chase me away. 2 levels ahead of him, and with red buff. So Olaf is got a very healthy lead. Makes the mistake of fighting Lee Sin with the Soraka on there. So I take the chance to take down mid lane. And now the gold lead's slightly in our favor because we take the kill. At first third kill in the game goes to us. I'm just gonna take a bite of my Mars bar here. So there isn't much going on at the moment. Chark gets caught off guard with Corky. And a 3-man gang to the bottom. So I'll try and make my way there, but I realize it's possible. But I am able to kill Morgana. Malphite fails his flash, so we're able to pick him up. That's quite unfortunate. But I've been able to pick up my blue. So my lead continues to grow, while Malphite continues to pull further behind because he was counter jungled. So now he's like level 9. He doesn't have too many things. He's got Glacial Shroud. He's working towards the closing heart, which is the right play. But because I am using a Regals, I'm able to more effectively counter jungle on because I'm able to kill above that now. Graves gets away here, which kind of sucks. But what can you do? He's Graves. Still waiting for them to nerf him. Graves OP. We want this turret right now. All 5 of us are down here, so we're gonna take this. The correct play for them is to back off, but they don't realize it soon enough, and our entire team is able to collapse on them. Olaf coming in from behind, killing them. Now the team makes the correct play, and both top and mid push their lanes out. But they are only able to get the first level turrets, which isn't a huge loss for us, and we're able to pick up Dragon.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team has slain the dragon.
So our team's pretty stacked. We've got about a 2k gold lead. It's continuing to grow. And at this point, I'm starting to think about Baron. Because I've got so much gold in my inventory that I just straight up here buy a Warmogs. So my build for Jayce is pretty tanky. I built him as a bruiser, sort of like how you would build Lee Sin, because he is in essence an AD caster. He has some range with his Q and his EQ combo, but most of the time he is in melee range, and it is also where he does the most damage to targets in his melee form because of his very powerful E attack that does percentage health based damage. And that's why I built him as a bruiser instead of an AD. Because all I really need in order to properly counter jungle is Regal's Lantern. And if I just go tanky into like an Admogs, late game I'll be doing a lot of damage, and I'll be really tanky as well. So here I try and push out mid. My team decides to initiate for some reason. I guess they were able to catch off Malphite off guard, but I tell them to retreat because of Morgana, and I guess they didn't get the memo. So our team gets kind of picked off. I try to make the best of the situation by attacking, trying to kill the middle turret. But we pretty much came out even in that team fight because of their powerful team fight ability with Malphite and Morgana.
Time.
Mars bar is so good. Almost juicy farm for me. Sorry, Vladimir. So I remember at this point in the game, My team is pretty afraid of their combo with Malphite and Morgana. But I'm reassuring them that if we just get a little bit of tankiness, and MR will be fine. And it's the one thing about solo queues. If your team gets demoralized, you have to find a way to reassure them. Because the primary reason why teams lose in solo queues is because they get demoralized, and it's the one thing that you have to try and prevent. So, Tarek running around with them oracles, doing the right thing, clearing out some wards. Soraka's DC'd a few times, so she's a little behind. Not really sure why she bought the Ninja Tabby. Maybe because of the amount of AD we have on our team. Might be a wise decision. Not sure how it plays out. But here we're all getting ready for Baron because we're all strong enough to do it, and most of our lanes are pushed. So if they come and try and challenge us, we can effectively bait them into a team fight and win. But if they don't, then we get a free Baron. Well, I shoot Baron here just to make sure they're not doing it. Graves decides to TV back home. That's another way I check the bushes, by shooting it through with the gate. So now we're just waiting for something to happen. We're just waiting for them to either fully commit to Baron, and we can bait them, or if they don't challenge us, then we'll do the Baron. Now, Tarek's still clearing out the wards. Lee Sin and Soraka show themselves, and I decided to give chase. You see how they would react. I noticed that Soraka blows her Shurelius here, and we see that Graves is down here at bottom, trying to kill her turret. So we take the chance to go do Baron, because they can't fight us with four people and no Shurelius. They would just straight up die. And so it's a really good Baron call. The enemy team also decides to back off from Dragon, which we take without challenge. It's just little things like this that eventually snowball our team into a huge gold lead. As you can see, we've got about 4k gold, more than that, yeah, almost 5k gold lead. And we're all just going home to spend it right now. Everybody decides to elixir up, get nice and strong. So Malphite's still level 12. Most of us are past level 13, even our Tarek. And we're just pressuring down first now. Just with our down. Graves seems adamant on farming bottom. Kind of leaves this team in a disadvantage, and we're able to take multiple turrets. So for free, essentially.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So right now, I'm trying to catch somebody in a bad spot like Soraka or Graves. So we can swing the team fight in our favor. But these guys are very, very patient. They play very, very safe. Very careful not to go on anything. Everybody plays a pretty smart game. Shark lands a stun and Vladimir takes this as a cue to go in. But because of our incredible amount of magic resistance and defense, health regeneration from the Baron buff, we're able to effectively kill them after tanking the combo. Olaf sacrifices himself in order to zone out basically 3 of the enemies. So because we have so much health regen right now in Baron buff, we decided to take down the bot lane turret as well. A huge minion wave.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And so this is how we're slowly swinging the game in our favor. Because their team has such a powerful teamfight comp, we have to fight them only when our team has a clear advantage. So when we have Baron, or if we've caught them all off guard. If we were to fight them in a straight up team fight, we would probably lose. Just because of the nature of their kits. So here I noticed that Morgana hasn't taken her blue buff yet. And I try and take it, but they notice a little too soon for my liking, so I just get the hell out of dodge. It's my last ditch effort to try and steal it. Corky, they're looking mighty happy. He's got a Trinity Force and an Infinity Edge already, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. He hasn't farmed as much as Graves has, but he's been in more team fights, so he's got some more assist gold. So now we're just taking this turret for free because they don't want to fight us. It wouldn't be in their favor to defend that turret right now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Now Baron's about to come up very soon, because we had the timer on it. So we decided to hang around, mid. and then just take Baron as soon as it comes up, because they're pretty much too afraid to step outside of their base right now because of our coverage. We have amazing ward coverage. Soraka makes the right play and finally decides to buy an Oracle for her team. She is a little late. We're able to take Baron as soon as it spawns. Olaf almost catches her here as well. Because of the really close spawn timers of Baron and Dragon, we're able to take both pretty much uncontested. And yeah, things like this that completely puts the game in our favor. So, because now we've got almost a 10k lead in gold. We're up about 3 turrets. Yeah. And this game's pretty much winding down. But yeah, it's pretty much all I really wanted to show you guys. Like I said, if you have a very fast jungler, and you are confident with your jungling, counter jungling prowess, you can actually snowball games through the jungle. Despite popular belief that only top lane snowballs, the jungle is also a very snowbally lane because you can deny your opponent a buff experience and effectively making ganks for their team less effective. So here we're just grouping up to push mid. Accelerate! At this point I believe I have my Atmas, yeah I do, so I am doing quite a bit of damage. Got about 250 AD. Well, Luff's got a GA, so he's not going to be dying anytime soon either. I'm working slowly towards a impersonation. Alright, so Vladimir decides to engage. Malphite follows, but our team is just so incredibly tanky. Vladimir gets out. Survives the initial burst, but decides to go in afterwards to die.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Here, take too many power shots to try to kill Graves as well. Let's just push one of the next turrets, so we aren't able to get any more than that because their tanks are pretty slow. Yeah, so that's pretty much my advanced Jayce gameplay, Jungle Jayce gameplay tutorial for you guys. If you guys have any questions about Jayce or how I play him, feel free to leave that in the comments section below. I'll be trying to make more jungle tutorials with the other champions, such as the newly redone Xin Zhao and Eve. and I have a few tricks that I can do with them, but largely they remain unchanged in terms of their play style. So I can show you some tips and tricks there. Jayce by far is my most favorite jungler right now because of his utility and versatility, and those are the things that I find most valuable in a jungler, to the nature of it. So Vladimir gets caught here and dies, but it doesn't really matter. We just use this as an initiation and just go straight in. I've already got spawned, so it's really difficult for me to die. I just basically bum rush. Lee Sin and Graves get taken out by Tarek and Olaf. And Soraka's the only one left alive, but she can't really do anything against us, so we're just gonna push the Nexus here. Game. Yeah, thanks again for tuning in. If you guys like what you see, what you saw here today, please subscribe. I'm going to be putting up more tutorials and guides later in the future. With the new champions and different remakes, and kind of share with you guys what's been working for me in terms of being a jungler. Alright guys, catch you later.